Logan is in rare form. Welcome to the Big Damn Podcast, the monthly peek behind the scenes of our independent film production and distribution company called
Big Damn Films.
Welcome to the August edition of the Big Damn Podcast. My name is Michael Jane, and with me, as always, is Tony Stark, also known as Logan Lister.
Today, we're taking a look back at the progress we've made in the last month.
We got to write better material. That's it.
There's only so much I can do with the same line each month, but
well, you
try.
Know, as fucking co-owner of the company, you could rewrite.
I'm gonna. You know what? This sounds like a job for AI.
Shut the fuck up. Anyway.
What have we been up to?
Honestly, it's been a pickup of speed. We've got Jester, which will be coming out for Blu-ray pre-orders in the beginning of September.
Yep.
We'll be submitting it for all the fun streaming platforms. Just got the notice from John today on August 28th that Shark wraps filming. Shark, you son of a bitch, wraps filming September 20th, which means that'll give him 30 days to edit. Justin Tim Payne is cranking out great tracks for Rifters, which it's fun to see Kurt on the big screen again.
It is. Definitely is.
And Night of the Blue Moon is still happening.
Still happening. Still filming even.
We're dealing post-surgery John Johnson, way more productive.
Oh, yeah. Right. Looks better. Says he feels better. Like, can't put a price on that.
No. So, while August is a bit of a lull, it also gives us an opportunity to do some house cleaning in the sense of there's 2 episodes of this coming out this month.
Surprise!
Yay! It's an episode with Austin Riley. If you haven't listened to that one, go back and listen to it. It's a great episode. Also very uncomfortable for me because, it was just really nice to have a conversation with Austin. It's also nice to know that he's going to be coming back for anything we do.
And incredibly excited to.
Yes. It's also good to get an opposite perspective on the ZCon experience from somebody who had way more invested than a lot of others.
Well, I think as we go on, it'll be nice to see all the different perspectives from crew, from cast, from people tangentially kind of on the sidelines or maybe watching as crowdfunders or whatever else the case might be. Like putting the whole experience together from all the different perspectives is always fun to hear.
Yeah, it's also fun to hear, like, whenever I mention something or post something, people are like, that's still one of the best weekends or filming I've had in a long time. So, like, every once in a while, I'm like, we did okay.
Absolutely.
But as far as doing okay, the Fright Before Christmas is trucking along. It's available, like, I'm kind of proud of us, Logan.
We did good.
First film, we're on 9 platforms. We were on Roku, but they removed it. I have to find out what happened there.
I'll just buy them.
What's that?
I'll just buy them.
Please do. That'll be our streaming platform.
There you
go. And it's interesting to watch from a performance point of view. We're getting Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, Mexico, Brazil. We also have not reported, so that means intergalactic species has watched, and it's doing okay. I can't really complain.
Yeah.
So as we head into we're definitely releasing 3 more Darkstone flicks.
Yeah.
A few moments later.
All right, Patreon people, that is John Johnson verifying that the credits for Jester actually recorded. And if you're not on Patreon, this is where the rest of the podcast has just picked it for you.
Come right back.
So yes, that means Once he sends that over this evening, we will be packaging up Jester and sending it off. And then 30 days from now, we'll have some Blu-rays.
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
It's out there.
That'll be cool. I'm excited to build that library, to get it out there for everybody to see, and to see how, really just to have a catalog of items that we're putting out, because everything that I've seen and read and stuff, like, it's one thing to put out a film or two, but when you start to have a whole catalog, the streaming services look at you a little differently.
Yeah.
I'm excited to step into that new or next stage.
And by the end of this year, hopefully we are looked at a little bit differently. So, Logan, you said a statement that, and we're off script, people, for those of you that aren't paying attention because you can't see our notes. You said this process has demystified distribution for you.
It has.
Explain.
It has. I think, like any industry, like any job, you kind of come into it, and when you start a new job, you're my current boss calls it drinking from the fire hose.
Yeah.
And there's an overwhelm and in just a learning process and digesting and understanding. And before you get there, it's like it magically happens. You donate money or do this, and here's a DVD, or here's a support, or here's something, and you don't know a lot of what goes into it. And then you start, and you're kind of opened up to the world of everything that goes on and happens, and that's like, whoa. And then you just kind of hopefully hit a point where it's like, oh, well, I can do this. I get it. And I know what's going on. And it's like, it's there's steps to follow and there's work to do, but there's a logical process to getting a film, running through the edits, creating a DVD and following the step-by-steps, and a Blu-ray for that, and submitting to the streaming platforms. Like, doing it has demystified it to the point where it was like, if you would have asked me 2 years ago, could you run a film distribution company, I'd have laughed and been like, probably not something I'm going to be doing in the future. And now it's like, yeah, you know what? I can do that.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Look, it's not rocket science. Well, I mean, it's a little bit of rocket science. It's a little bit of special sauce. It's a little bit of, and I say this a lot, I said it this week, what we do isn't impossible. It just takes a lot of work.
It does.
It also takes a lot of being willing to learn things that most people don't pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
It means a lot of doing the unsexy work of packaging a Blu-ray, meaning like getting all the files ready and making a master and all that stuff, to packaging it for the different platforms that decide to license your material.
Mm-hmm.
None of it is super sexy. None of it is like...
No. It's a lot of attention to detail work.
It's not just attention to detail work, but like project management at its finest. True. Here's the demystification for the 4 people that are going to listen to this. When you're releasing a movie, you're not just releasing a movie in theaters. You're releasing a movie on streaming. You're releasing physical product. All of those things have unique schedules that they follow. Streaming platforms can take 6 to 12 weeks to tell you how long it's going to take them to be picked up. So when you see The Fright Before Christmas available on Apple, a distribution company like us, it took a couple weeks because you have to do quality control. And then if there's something they don't like, they come back and they make a change.
And they each have their own special formats or sizes for posters or thumbnails or pictures or images. Like, everyone's just a little different.
And everybody wants something a little bit different. Yeah. So like, if they see that you have this and everybody else is getting it, they'll ask for a different image. Or they'll ask for a treatment without the logo and the title, so they could have like a wallpaper kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So all of the stuff that you kind of take for granted as a consumer of, here's its theatrical release, here's its streaming rental release, and here's the physical release. That's weeks, if not months, of planning into the process just to get any one of those done. And it's fun for people that think it's fun. Because for me, and I enjoy, you make something out of nothing. Like the physical thing, the streaming thing did not exist prior, and now people get to enjoy it because you took the time to put it out there. So that being said, I'm very happy that things have been demystified for you.
Yeah, it's fun.
The sunglass for the podcast listeners. This entire time, Logan is wearing replica Tony Stark sunglasses that he bought for his child. And I'm jealous because I now want a pair. So here, let me demystify the process a little bit more. The Jester is a movie that came out in 2007 through Darkstone Entertainment. Logan did the masterful job of upgrading it from its 720 state to 1080p, which means we can put it on Blu-ray. That also means we had to redo the intro of Darkstone's logo because it was bad. Not bad, but like when you...
The upscaling didn't work on the graphics at the time. That's all.
Yeah. And that also means like the text and credits at the end became distorted. So we needed to do an updated version of that. The file that John sent had the audio track, but not the scroll. So, in the 50 minutes that we've been sitting here, 15 minutes for you guys, 50 minutes for us, just going back and forth and making sure all of that stuff's done to get a Dropbox link to now, after this recording is over, I'm going to tack it on the end, going to do an export of the entire process and then start packaging it up. So that is the unsexy part of all of this. That's the fun things. Hey, kids that are filmmakers that don't like this side of thing, it's the fun stuff you get to deal with, and why sometimes distributors take a while to respond.
Sure. And sometimes why those one-off films or those independent ones that you saw, why don't they just put it out on a DVD, or why don't they just send it to a streaming service? Like, why can't I see this stuff? Because there are a lot of details and a lot of attention to details and minutia of that sort of stuff that they're hard to do. It's hard little details to focus on, and if you're not that oriented in that way, and you like the process of shooting the film or going to the park or doing the fun stuff, then you got to find somebody who wants to do the detail stuff.
That being said, Logan, I think this would be the perfect time to wrap up our August update of what's going on. And all that is one more movie coming out of Darkstone Entertainment and Big Damn Films in the month of 2024.
Absolutely.
That being said, yeah.
Well, I was going to say, we couldn't do it without the help of our Patreon supporters, Lauren Butt and Bill Firo, helping us tell our big damn stories.
I love that.
We really do. Really do appreciate their consistency and their getting in ahead of the curve.
There you have it, the August episode of the Big Damn Podcast.
Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, follow us on social media, and stay tuned.
Do the things. So we want to thank DJ Safer, who supplies the music for all of these episodes. He's a phenomenal DJ. He's also one of the stars of C.
And maybe someone we'll be talking to soon.
Yes, very much so. So thank you again for joining us. As always, keep telling your big damn stories. Also, go to our website, buy our merch. We have shirts, hats, all this other shit. Bye. I'm sticking to the fucking glasses.
Gotta keep life interesting.